So I want to get some insight now into what's going wrong at Nokia. Our next guest has 2 decades of experience researching and analysing mobile and wireless industry products. Maryam Garner is currently Director of Mobile Internet at CCS Insight. Before that, he spent 17 years at Oyj, a technology and telecoms consultancy, where he was Director of Wireless and one of the firm's most senior analysts. He's also set up Combine, a consultancy firm focusing on internet services, and Martin is with me in the studio now. Thanks very much for coming in.
Good morning.
So I understand that you're expecting, when we've got Nokia results, of course, coming out less than 2 hours from now, you're expecting the number of phones shipped to fall significantly to around 97 million, aren't you?
Yes, we are predicting a significant decline in shipments and revenues with that, and we think that the two together will pull down margins as well.
And just tell me what that slump would be driven by.
There are 3 things, and they go right across Nokia's portfolio. All of the media attention is on Symbian and the transition to Windows Phone 7.
Yeah.
But also in the mid-range, Nokia has been wrong-footed a bit by the rate at which Android is coming down the price curve and being a good substitute for Nokia's mid-range phones. And then right at the low end, it's under attack from cheaper Chinese manufacturers as well.
This is pretty remarkable, isn't it? I mean, this means that Nokia is effectively on attack. It's fighting several battles, if you like, on different fronts, because, you know, that was the big selling point, you know, over the past few years. The rise of Android and Apple has meant that Nokia is trying to present, you know, a perhaps more practical, cheaper, leaner, simpler sort of model. So it's being squeezed on that front. And then, as you say, it's also facing increasing competition from local handset makers in China. What on earth does it need to do to turn this around?
Well, it is in the middle of probably the second biggest transition it's ever made, and it is renewing during this year a product set at each of those price points. But we are in the middle of that transition, and we haven't yet seen the benefits of any of it come out. The product launches, the major ones, are all expected in the second half, and its competitiveness will improve and carry it forwards into 2012.
So you'll expect to see more of an improvement in results, say, towards the end of this year, early next year. Will the benefits, you know, feed through, with that sort of timeline? Or?
We think that might be a little bit early. As I said, all of the media focus is on the first Windows device, which we're expecting end of November, early December. What Nokia really needs, though, is not just one device, but a range of devices on Windows Phone. And it will get there, but probably not until maybe Easter next year. And so we're actually expecting 3 more difficult quarters before we really see significant improvement.
Okay. And what about the N9, the sort of all-screen smartphone? That's going to hit stores later this year, isn't it? And then it is actually also planning for 3 low-price mobile phones, which will allow users to maintain 2 different phone numbers, so dual SIM. Right. Will that give earnings a bit of a boost?
The dual SIM phones will come through, and they will start to ship this year, and they will improve competitiveness right at the low end and will bolster that area. So we should see.
So this is the end where they're being squeezed by the Chinese.
That's
okay.
Right. And so we will see some benefits of that come through this year. The N9 is an interesting product. It's on a different software platform, which we think doesn't have a long life. What's interesting about it is the new user interface and the way Nokia could maybe use that on other areas of its portfolio. So the device itself is less interesting. The software and the way it works is the more interesting part, because we'll see that probably on other phones across other price points.
Really interesting to get your analysis on this. Really enjoyed talking to you, Maryam Garner of CCS Insight. Thanks very much.